Hello my friend, it's Pat Sloan here for my daily video, and today is a Book Nook topic. Often I am asked to participate in collaboration books, and my publisher Martin Gale does lots of different things like that, and they have a whole series called the Big Book series. And I've shared these a few times with you, but there's one coming up, and it has, what do they call it? Start to finish. So they're like quick finish projects, which are just awesome, right? And I have two projects in there, including one on the cover. So let me put a few pictures here from the book, the different projects. So my tulip is on the cover, and this is really one of my favorite quilts. I just love it. It is started with the little mini charm packs, the 2.5-inch squares. Yeah, so that's what a lot, and then your background fabric. Then I have this quick table runner that's also in the book. But some of the other projects are very cool as well. I love this with the rooster applique on it. It's so warm and cozy, but they have a wide variety of styles and sizes in this upcoming big book. Now you can pre-order it at the link below in the description box, and while you're there, click the subscribe, hit the thumbs up for me so that we can be staying in touch. So I think that you should add the big books to your library, because here's a few others that I love. I can't tell you how many times somebody comes into our community over at Facebook, Quit Along with Pat Sloan, and they show a lovely bundle of fat quarters, and they go, what should I make with these? Here is your answer in 66 different options. So this is a great one to have, the fat quarter big book. And then the other ones I like, because we always have like jelly rolls, and you can not only purchase jelly rolls, but you can make your own set of jelly rolls from your stash, leftovers. So there are fabulous quilts in this one. And then I also like the one that's just for all kinds of pre-cuts. So there's patterns in here for fat quarters, charm packs, jelly rolls, and layer cakes. So this is one that has the whole group of pre-cuts. And here's a few more from the back of that one. There are just so many great patterns in these books. They are well worth having in your library. And you can go and get the quick finish, which has two of mine in it. Speaking of quick finish, and it's not a quick finish. It's not going to be a quick finish. I am working on the English paper piecing block for the old school block of the month. And I decided to change my mind. So let me, imagine that, I changed my mind. So let's take a look. What I decided to do here, take some of these things off so they don't go rolling. Let me just move this a minute. Oh, those big books have a lot in them. Okay, so I decided instead of doing the whole piece of fabric in here, I want to do all the English paper piecing, because I can fussy cut from this fabric. See what I did here in the middle? It's not sewn yet. See in that middle flower? I got the center right off of it, and I thought, that is so cool. And I can take this, I have enough, I bought extra of this fabric, and so I can go through here and find different centers. I can get a center from here and a center from here, and then do this next round with all these different centers like this. I think that would be super cool. And then I'm still going to take the outer rim and do in the black. So this is not a quick finish. I'm still working on it. But the other reason why I thought it would be really good, let me just bring this back up. It would be really good to do this block with the full thing is because I want to see kind of how long it takes, because with my singles that I have, that I've been doing this, all of a sudden I realized, what if I did one of these that is larger? I don't know, I might even use these smaller papers, and because this is like a little bit smaller, one size down from these. These are the 1 inch and these are the 3/4. But I'm thinking, what if I did a couple, like maybe 5 of these, and then did the rest as these singles, and then put those together in the quilt? I thought that variety might be really nice. It might just spiff it up a little bit, give it a little extra something, to the quilt. So that's why I changed my mind. As I was looking at it, I thought, you know, I would rather just do the whole thing and sort of experiment with it in this old school for this other project. So I can see whether I'd like to do it for the other project. Okay. Now, I decided also to sew my Jolly Bar sampler units together. So there we go, up on the wall next to Norm the gnome. He's watching over everything. So I took and did this section here with the, see the house? Whoop. So I did this house section, and then I did, I put the sides on this house, the other house, and sides on the other block we just did yesterday. Oops, the other block we just did yesterday. So this you can download. You can download it on my website. In the description box, I'll have a link to this again so that you can go download it. And if you want the pattern for Norm, I'll put the link down there for him too. Norm and Nanette. I don't know, I think maybe in 2020, then maybe in 2022, next year, maybe next year, like starting in January, we should make Norm and Nanette. Just finish up that project. I don't know, I'm mulling that over. The reason I'm mulling that over is because I've been spending a few days, I'm gonna sort of get wrapped up what the rest of the big sew-alongs are for the year. There'll be little mini ones that'll pop up, but sort of the bigger ones that I have planned, I want to get locked in. The issue, as always, is that still fabric is not coming in at the rate it normally does. You know, the world is still recovering from the pandemic. People, you know, still are not, you know, there's still a pandemic, actually. It's not over. So, you know, the supply of fabric is a little unpredictable. You know, they'll say it'll come in May, but it doesn't come in until July. And so for me, that impacts my schedule, that impacts everybody's schedule a little bit. But it's not earth-shattering. It just means that I have to be a little fluid and move things if we need to. But I want to get, I think I can get locked down when approximate start dates are. So I want to have that so that you can plan for which things you would like to sew along with me, because it's always fun. You've got to sew along with the fun stuff. Yeah, you got to keep busy. Girls, boys, you got to keep busy, you guys. So on the group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan, the other day, it just seems like a lot of you are going through your stuff. You're going through your older things, which maybe I've given you that as an assignment, didn't I? Look in that older tote bag. What do you see in there? And guess what? You're finding my old stuff, really old stuff. And so first, let me just put up this picture. Wendy found this in her bag, these three patterns and one from the magazine. And it was just like a total blast from the past. These are very old patterns, over 20 years old. The white cover ones were the actual original kind of patterns that I did when I first started my business, which was like 22 years ago, something like that. And I didn't have really any graphic skills. It was, the equipment was all very expensive. And so at the time, people would take a photo and put it on paper, and then you would go to the copy center and make your covers. You know, make copies of that you mocked up basically by hand with real photos. So I actually found the Seymour, which was produced by Indigo Junction. It was actually one of mine prior. Indigo, I started working with them, and they republished some of mine in nicer, you know, graphic covers that they had, you know, design staff to do. But I found somebody selling on Amazon, I think just 2 of my Seymour patterns that are the older version with the white cover. So if you happen to be a crazy person that wants to collect that, link is in the description box. And there's only 2. So if there's 2 of you that are crazy enough to go buy a super old pattern of mine that was done way back, and that, oh, I don't even want to see what's inside. But it's an applique, so go to it. The other thing was, now I forget, I didn't write down who found this, but somebody else found my article. They pulled out my article that I had done for Fonz and Porter magazine, and it's on different uses for freezer paper. And I realized that at one point I had that PDF up on my website, but over all these, 15 years or so since I wrote that article, it had disappeared. So I put it back on my website. I love to make quilts. And go to this section, here's a picture, and you can download my article on different uses quilters have for freezer paper. Who knew, right? Who knew just being in my group we would find all of these historical archives. I just feel like it's like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so old. This has been around forever. Okay, so I got to show you a little bit of fabric because I got in one of these great bundles and it's pink, 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 pink. Now you can subscribe to the bundles or you can just buy the fabric. When you subscribe, you get a little key chart that tells you, what they all are. But let's just take a look at these because I realize that they're pink and they're so pretty, but also they go with this farm stuff that I got a piece of. The farm fabric. Oops, there's upside down. The pink goes with this. And remember I got the llamas too. Not the llamas, the sheep. The sheep. This is perfect. So now I have it, I like it because I'm getting new colors that, I may have not worked in these shades. And I have, like often I'm getting in some fabrics that I just don't have enough of those colors or haven't bought those colors recently. So I find that these bundles are fabulous. So you generally have different tones in them. So these are a little bit more dusty. Look at this. Oh, I gotta zoom you in. Hold on. Here we go. So these two are kind of dusty. I like that. This is darling. Teeny weeny little flowers on a grid. Got a great zigzag. Here's the bunnies. So I used up a bunch of my bunnies. So this is nice to have. I love this small print. And these are very usable. They send you what I call very usable prints because they're not a lot of other colors in it. They all read pink. And a lot of these would be called blenders. I would call these blenders. This is a blender. Here's even this. It's got a lot of white in it for the flowers, but it's primarily a piece of pink fabric. So they're not ranging where you have a piece in here that's got a lot of different colors. This is gorgeous for a blender. I could see this as a background fabric. Here's some little tiny leaves and more gorgeous. This is like 30s print. And the plaid. I love this. I wonder, no, I don't think that goes with the sheep, but it's really good. And then a beautiful little stripe. Then it's tonal, which is nice. So it's on a pink background with a darker pink stripe. Those are all fantastic pinks. Great to have because I have not bought a lot of pink lately. And I really do think I need to make something with this. I should probably look in those big books, right? Look in the big book and the fat quarter one. What would I make with this? So much fun. Not enough time. Okay, so today I hope you have a great day sewing, and check out my group online, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. I love you. Mwah. See you online.